Hi there, James Hodgson here, British Elite Duathlete and Super Series Triathlete, and today I'm giving you my review of the Blusmooth wetsuit here, which they have very kindly sent out to me, and this is their Mk1 Racer. I found a bit of a misnomer, to be honest, as a name, as Blusmooth don't really advertise this as a racing wetsuit, more as a open water training wetsuit. However, if you are that way inclined, I can't see why you wouldn't be able to use this suit as one to race. I found it very comfortable, very efficient in the water, and we're going to dive into a few of the bits and pieces about it now. So the wetsuit itself comes in this nice mesh carry storage bag, nice and fairly strong straps. No issues with it at all, perfect for just keeping the wetsuit a little bit safe and for carrying it around to and from the lake and also on race day. So that's always a nice little addition to have. The suit itself, I had a medium large based on the sizing. It's a fairly, as I just lift it up here, fairly understated affair. You have this Blusmooth logo and symbol across the chest, the Mk1 Racer symbol on this thigh, and then another Blusmooth logo as I turn it around on the back here. Definitely not as colourful as some wetsuit options that have been around on the market. If you want something which is maybe a bit more, I guess, almost old school in wetsuit design, this would be the one for you. However, I guess aesthetics is one thing, and the main, or the second option, is looking at actual performance. I found this medium large for myself. I'm a 6 foot or 1.84 m. And then I float around about 73-74 kilograms. A really good size and fit for me, both through the torso, how tight it was through the legs, and then I also had no issues with this size opening all around the neck, which is a really important thing. I found that if you have a wetsuit which has got a neck which lets in water and then it can billow out the wetsuit and cause a lot of drag, that's also a problem. And no issues at all with this neck. It's a nice cut, no chafing. Didn't have to put an excess amount of anything like body glide or lubrication there. And obviously then Blusmooth have made the job harder for themselves of stopping water ingress by cutting the arms off this wetsuit, which gives you 2 more chances of water getting in. But I had no issues with that at all when I was swimming in the suit in open water or the pool as a test area. Really good seal. It didn't feel restrictive, didn't give any chafing, and it was actually quite a pleasant sensation compared to a normal wetsuit with sleeves, as you have a lot more freedom of movement with this cut out across the shoulders. You obviously lose a little bit of buoyancy and obviously warmth as well, but if you feel like you'd rather have your arms a bit more free, or you're in a slightly warmer body of water for your training and racing, that could be actually quite beneficial for you. The one thing or caveat I would say on the fit itself is, even though I'm towards the top of the height range of this wetsuit sizing in the medium large, the legs themselves actually were quite long on me. They were quite low down my ankles, which if you're maybe a bit shorter on the size guide, you would have to probably cut these down. It's something that Blusmooth have thought about. On the inside of the legs we have got some wetsuit tape which allows you to trim probably a good few inches off if you needed to, but then obviously you do lose the pre-cut ergonomic cutout here at the back of the ankle for easier wetsuit removal, which again is Blusmooth saying that this wetsuit isn't made for racing. I found this cutout and the actual removal of the wetsuit after the swim. I did a couple of sort of hopping out of the lake and running to transition and quick removals of my wetsuit, and this came off really easy around the ankles, despite the long length in the leg, something which I've generally found in other wetsuits. I have to cut my legs fairly short to be able to get them off my feet. But this was really easy. Again, another plus if you did decide to race this wetsuit in open water. I guess the other thing to bear in mind if you were planning on racing this, you have a nice wide Velcro on the back with your zipper. Your zipper is a standard zipper, not a reverse. So potentially, especially as this draw cord for your zip doesn't actually velcro into the back of the wetsuit. Theoretically, this will be flopping around in the swim, and somebody could give it a yank and undo your wetsuit. Again, Blusmooth said that this shouldn't actually be used as a racing wetsuit, but if you felt like you wanted to, or this was your option, maybe just something to bear in mind. Now, the Blusmooth Mk1 Racer is marketed, as I say, as a training wetsuit. It is at a slightly lower price point, but I don't feel that you're actually really compromising much in terms of build quality. Everything I've had on this wetsuit is really nicely finished. There's no rough edges. The inside of the suit is nice and smooth and quite comfortable. The neck and the shoulders are very well cut and designed as well. So I don't think you're actually compromising on standard here at all with a lower price point. And you're also getting quite a nice buoyant suit. I was pleasantly surprised. It's a very uniform 3mm thickness across, which gave a really nice level of buoyancy, even with, I guess, the arms cut off as well. So I found it could keep my legs up in a really nice position with a very minimal leg kick during the swims. So again, something which Blusmooth have got very right with this wetsuit. So I guess to quickly sum up then, if you're in the market for a training wetsuit and your training venues aren't going to be on the chillier side, or you're also going to be racing and you prefer to have your arms free, the Blusmooth Mk1 Racer in the sleeveless version could be the option for you. It's not too expensive, it fits quite nicely, it provides a good level of buoyancy and warmth despite the lack of the arms. And it is a good enough suit if you wanted to race in it. You could do. It's quite quick and easy to remove off the legs. I would just bear in mind that the zipper is a standard, not a reverse, so hopefully nobody pulls your wetsuit zip open. But if you don't race in it and you want a training suit, this has stood up to all of the open water in the sea and the lake, and also the pool swimming that I've thrown at it, and it is held up very much like new, no issues at all, no nicks in the neoprene. So I think you'll get a lot of seasons of very good use out of this as a wetsuit if it is something which you went for.